What's going on, guys, and welcome back. I am through the day one trenches of season 5. Rank placements almost broke me, guys. Actually went pretty good. I lost like 2 matches, but I'm here to report to you guys the biggest winners and the heroes that you should consider maining for season 5. Vanguards, Strategists, Duelists, the likes of all of them. Which one should you learn or continue to improve on to dominate your rank matches and continue on throughout the season? But before we jump in, because of the balance patch that we had in season 5, wasn't much of a balance patch, but more of just a you get a buff, you get a buff. There are heroes that are just not going to be mentioned today because they were kick-ass in season 4.5, and guess what? They're still kick-ass. So all these heroes right here that you're looking at, these are still very good heroes within the game. Obviously, in the Vanguard department, Emma and Venom are still doing what they do best. Not going to talk about them today, but you know they're damn good. And in the Duelist position, all the meta fronts that we saw, not only in Ignite and in Pro Play, is still good because of just their versatility, viability. Star-Lord, Psylocke, Daredevil still let the devil out. He's crazy, did not get nerfed. And then the rest of them still very solid. Hela is this hit scan hero, although has a little more competition now. Strategists got a lot of love across the board, but Jeff, Mantis are still reigning supreme from that old season. But there are others now that are kind of rising up to these other roles, and the meta is quite literally completely open because of the Vanguards and the Strategists. Now that I got that yap session out of the way, thank you for coming to the TED Talk. Let's talk about all of the best heroes in every role to main in Season 5. Let's start with the Vanguards. Now, starting off with the pressure makers, the big boys and girls. Let's get it going with the Vanguards, who obviously got a lot of love in this patch. So obviously, no secret, Guang and friends just went absolutely buck wild when it came to the buffs for the Vanguards. But we got to start off with this guy, man, Magneto. The double bubble is freaking trouble, and it is insane. Already just a good hero across the board. Had the Emma team up, now has the Gambit team up. Guys, having the ability to use a bubble on your allies or on yourself to engage and play defensively and offensively now. You don't have to pick between the two. And then you're able to poke here, get a quick elimination there, maybe use the team up and go full aggression, and then you can hit the clutch plays with the Meteor and Magneto. I'm just telling you, if for somehow you skipped a year of Rivals of playing this guy, maybe that was someone else's job, you know, your duo buddy, whatever, you got to learn him because this guy is the standout, clearly one of my favorite heroes in the game. If you look at the top level of play, he's the biggest difference maker, all the way down to low ladder play. Just very easy to learn and to improve and get better and better throughout the ranks. Magneto, big time winner, gotta learn him. Now, the next couple don't stand out as much as Magneto, in my opinion, but let's talk about the next on the list, and that is Groot. Now, yes, Wolverine is on the rise. We'll get to that damn guy. But Groot, because of his unstoppable that he has now with his Ironwood wall and where he was at the meta already, is in a very good spot, right? Triple Vanguard's going to be everywhere. He's a very good anchor for that in a lot of maps on the defensive side of things. But man, because of having that unstoppable mixed with the continual buffs that he's gotten time after time, and with his setup ult of the, you know, Groot hug, as we like to call it, he's just an easy learn hero. It's going to take about a half a season of really playing him to pick up on all the things that make him great. But this is the time. This is the season to learn him. He's definitely getting boosted up right there on the level of some of the other heroes and doesn't get banned as much. So consider playing the trick. All right, so let's talk about Captain America. Pretty much since the game has come out, this SOB has been dominant, right? Obviously, he got a lot of buffs. Then he was completely crazy, and now he's still crazy. But he remains, you know, kind of controlled because he is a very hard hero to master. That's why high elo and pro play, he's completely busted. But then in lower rank, he's awful, and your teammates are just feeding most of the time because there's no follow-up. However, Captain America now got a buff to his ultimate. Already very good with that. I would say when you looked at some of the top teams, especially the 2 in the grand finals when I was hosting that, the best Captain America player was the one, and at the time, I believe it was Finzi, and trust me, shout out to those 2 goats on the hero. You could just control so much of the battle on this guy. I mean, not only are you just diving consistently and creating pressure, but you can get to the point and cause that pressure. You can peel for your own teammates, but now when you ult, not only are you going to give sustainability to freedom charge into the battle, have everybody follow you, or to sustain the defensive line, now you're going to be giving everybody 30% more ult charge in terms of efficiency, which is absolutely freaking broken. For strategists, for duelists behind you, man, just day one of noticing this, it was bonkers, and this is so damn good. I will say this. You've got to learn the animation cancel. If you've seen the videos or you've tried the animation cancel with his melee hits and it's not for you, that's fine. Play another hero. It's not worth learning this guy unless you can completely max out his kit. But if you took the time to learn the animation cancel, which there's a lot of ways to do it, sprays, there's a couple ways you could do it. If you learn it, this will be the fastest hero you can climb with. Mark my words, absolutely goated in so many ways. First Avengers continues to be dominant, and he's going to be even more so this season. Next up, let's talk about The Thing, who I saw a fair amount today. Obviously, he had all of the changes, a little bit less defensive build, and he's going to go for the MMO offensive set now with the vulnerable that he can put on people, and just having more AoE love in general. This guy's the new kind of Vanguard Slayer if Wolverine's not involved, or in general, because we're going to see a lot more Triple Vanguard. Triple Vanguard, very popular on defensive holds, on certain push maps, but for the most part, this guy could be the difference maker, and I think we're going to see him a lot in the meta in terms of high rank play, but also even in low rank play. If you are a good Thing player, you can really make it tough on the other low elo players. This guy just shreds through Groot now, shreds through other Vanguards. Your goal is now to be more of that kind of defensive threat, but then attack the other defensive threats on the field, and he's really finding a good home here. Like him a lot. Don't go and just charge into death. You have to learn how to play him, but The Thing, very good right now, whether you are in low rank or high rank. High rank, you're going to love it, because if you have people that follow up with you and you can learn to play around with your team, this guy's crazy. Now, lastly, let's talk about high elo versus low elo. Obviously, we've already pointed out some of these guys, but let's talk about high elo first. The Hulk, although did get a nice buff to the old clap in the bubble reduction, didn't see him a lot today. I think people are more interested in some of the other sexiness out there in the Vanguard position, even though, hey, Hulk's a good-looking guy, but he's not crazy. His skill ceiling will always be amongst the highest in Vanguard, so I think he's definitely worth learning right now and is still doing really good. I don't know if this is going to be his absolute dominant meta, but if you are a high-ranked skill player, Hulk is going to be great to continue on what Dive is doing already. Venom, Captain America, I still think are going to squeak him out a little bit, and he doesn't have much going outside of that, so that's where I would go personally. And Angela buffs are here, man, and if you are late to the Angela train, get on in, because holy crap, Angela Airlines is in full takeoff mode. Just a fun-ass hero to learn. I mean, the ways that you can win for your team, a number of different utilities of pushing people off the map, displacing, and just getting places first. If you like to be that shot caller, if your team's lagging behind, man, lead the charge. Get out there, go get it. Angela now buffed up enough to be honestly considered a pretty damn big threat, right? I think she can work in the 2 comps in a lot of maps as well. So Angela, definitely a big winner. More in the high elo department. Again, on my side, you're just not going to get that follow-up, and you're going to end up dying a lot. Most likely if you're in the lower ranks. Now, lastly, low elo, going to keep saying it. It's the honorable, at this point, should just be a permanent Penny spot. Penny's going to be healing you now. Penny's going to be giving you more movement speed. Defensively, on most defensive maps, where your opponent's trying to gain an objective, just play Penny at low elo. You're going to get yourself so many more wins because of how bad the play is down there and how cracked this hero is. We're going to hear that again today with the Duelist. Definitely, though, Peni Parker, really good right now. And so, you're probably noticing, we just have a lot of kick-ass Vanguards in the game. And yes, that's because they just buffed more than half of them. I think right now, it feels awesome. We'll see how power creep and whatnot comes into play. But that's my overall takeaway on the Vanguards right now. Let's go and talk about the Duelist. Obviously, we talked about the winners that are already good from the last patch, but let's talk about ones that are hot and on the rise. Wolverine, man, is actually back in an insane way. I mean, first of all, obviously, Vanguard's got a lot of love, so you need someone to keep them at bay. Wolverine is going to be that hero, but we might as well, I guess, bring her up now. But Phoenix is going to be another hero that we talk about in just a couple seconds from now, who's just going to superpower Wolverine all the much more. You still have to play him right, and be on that hunt and prowl. But between his ultimate and Berserker Rage that you can control quite literally the battle, to the cheeky kidnaps, or just controlling the battle. If you're in, low elo, odds are you got only one tank a lot of the times. You get rid of that tank, they're going to be in hell. Or in high elo, get rid of the bigger threat on the field between the 2 Vanguards. Wolverine right now is a completely clutch option in a very Vanguard heavy meta. And then, yes, just talked about it. Phoenix. I'm telling you, Phoenix not getting enough love out there. We saw plenty of Phoenix in the Ignite series towards the end, and that's even without this nice little buff we have here at the mid-range shots, right? Around that 30-40 meters, you're going to be doing a lot more damage now, but on top of that, you have a kick-ass team up with Wolverine and Black Widow. I don't have Black Widow on this list, but my God, if you have a good Phoenix player on your team and you're kind of lacking in support, Black Widow might as well be a strategist now. Some of the craziest healing output in the game with those Phoenix bullets. So big W for that. But also Phoenix and the raw damage output, combining her ult with Magneto's ult and others to get a huge splash of damage. You can combine it with Psylocke as well and be that real true hero play. If that's what you're looking for, Phoenix is the one for you. All right, Mr. Fantastic. You know what? I'm finally going to put him on this list. I think that these survivability changes really make him a threat. You know, is he an S-tier hero? I don't think so, but I do think low elo-wise, he's quite literally the final boss. This guy is a terrorist now. So definitely, you know, I think he's going to be worth playing down there. And in high elo, I think, you know, you can start, I don't know how high, but you could definitely start flexing him, no pun intended, into some rotations. Still feels a little bit off in terms of what he can do, but there are certain fights and stagnant parts of the map that I think he actually works really well. Specifically, I like him in Midtown a lot. And speaking of, I might actually make a guide about what heroes I love on certain maps. Next up, let's talk about the new Unlikely Deadly Duo, the new team up, Moon Knight and Blade. We'll start with Moon Knight. Guys, Moon Knight is just always been my guy. Khonshu and me, we are absolutely tight. He's getting a 5% team up damage bonus on top of getting 2 of his right clicks from the last patch. His ult Hand of Khonshu charges insanely fast. Very good to get rid of these big chunky heroes or the shifty invisible womans. Moon Knight is great in a lot of ways. The higher you get up, the more that they can deal with you and the more they're going to focus on you. You do lose your cloak of invisibility there with the cloak team up, but that damage makes it all the more noticeable how crazy this guy is. And speaking of team ups, man, I think Blade has finally gotten to a spot where this guy is pretty damn respectable, man. Starting with the team up that he has with Moon Knight that you can shoot out of range. But I feel like outside of just being shotgun man now, he's really being a threat up close, far away, and a perfect engager for your team. I've played with a lot of great blades lately, and I think this is a hero that's on the up and up. Now, Namor, I'll be brief about it because Hela obviously is not being nerfed, and that crazy team up. I think Namor is just such a good defensive hero. You know, it's not the easiest to grab the first point with a Hela Namor build, but once you have a point or an objective or kind of, you know, you've stated your ground, these two are so good together. The turrets are always going to cook. The Giganto Mega Whale is just such a clutch ultimate and not only just chaotic fights, but just to open up fights. He's got the Blessings of the Deep to keep himself alive. And then, of course, the team up we just talked about. Namor, still very much good in this meta. Lastly, guys, let's talk about Storm. This is more for high elo players and coordinated play because we're going to see more triple Vanguard. Storm out the gate with something like a Moon Knight is always such a good play. And with that damage bonus for your allies going up even more, this is a hero that's slept on continuously. I think Omega Hurricane's great to fish out the strategist ults, but now you can empower your teammates around you while also trying to carry what you can do in the skies. I think Storm's in a really good spot out of the flyers at the moment. All right, lastly, guys, let's talk about the strategists. Again, these are not supports. They're strategists, right? They do much more than just healing, and especially this season. We talked about Jeff and Mantis earlier in the 4.5 favorites, but my God, Invisible Woman is one of the best heroes in this game by a landslide. Like, I don't know how not just one, but all of these buffs got approved, but I'm here for it. I would have been happy with just the shield that she can give herself that can block Iron Man ults, Magneto ults, you name it. It can continue to heal her. She has so much sustainability that if you die more than a couple times on this hero, like, consider yourself having to learn her more. I'm just being honest. Before she's starting to get banned in games, because I think that's going to be coming her way pretty soon, play Invisible Woman. I mean, everything's going for her well. Her survivability, her initiation, having the push and pull to, you know, save the team from an Agamotto or pull in a Daredevil that may be overextended. This hero could do it all. You could pump out insane damage numbers. You could really cook up some good healing as well. Invisible Woman is the clear winner of this patch right there with Magneto, in my humble opinion. But on top of that, we got Gambit, man. Gambit has joined the game, and I played a lot of Gambit today. Again, I lost 2 placement matches. I played Gambit 6 of those. And I've got to say, Gambit feels like the perfect mix of that duelist with strategist. He feels a lot better when you're playing on offense, if I'm being honest, or you're being more aggressive. But man, once you really get his cooldowns down and you can get the quick heal of the bouncing cards, or you quickly get rid of any CC with or healing around you, But then you can also go and do insane dive and engaging, right? You do a quick shift in, you throw down the spade cards, and then you just get the follow-ups that put out a big amount of lethal damage. Oftentimes, I had crazy matching my Duelist easily with my damage numbers, and I had 40, 50k healing to go alongside it. Gambit, it is well worth the effort in the complex kit that he's going to bring. Not only that, obviously, he's got the team up with Magneto. Clear winner of this patch as well, just coming to the game. Gambit is a big-time strategist to learn right now. Cloak and Dagger, they continue to be great. The little bit of health they got just already helps what has been so dominant for them. This is the perfect master of all Elo's hero. Low Elo, they auto-aim, and you can get really good value for your team. High Elo, the Terror Cape, and the follow-up that you get. You know what's made them great. They continue to be great, and it's funny, if they didn't get this health buff, I would say they're kind of edging out just a little bit, but no, they're right in this the thick of things still. I think Cloak and Dagger with a Gambit is such a good lineup, or obviously Invisible Woman, if you have two pretty skillful strategists. But speaking of skillful, let's talk about our high elo and low elo pick. Adam Warlock, this might be my favorite season for him if you had a high level play. I mean, who I think is the best strategist in the game in Saipe. If he doesn't have Invisible Woman, I've been watching him. He's just picking Adam, the golden god. I mean, hit your shots, learn the alt fire continuously, go crazy. This guy is so clutch with now his resurrection coming all the more faster. You can go faster whenever you die to get a quick res back to get to your team, or you can just continually be that duelist threat that kind of Gambit is if you're skilled enough mechanically on the mouse and keyboard with Adam Warlock. On the low elo side or high elo, Rocky Raccoon, man. Obviously, the rise of Phoenix coming back from kind of the nerf ashes is going to kind of tame him down a little bit with his ult at times. But man, they really buffed up his healing across the board. And it just feels like Rocket has that impact that he had a couple seasons ago. It's finally back. So if you used to play Rocket, then you stopped because he was bad for a while, you're going to enjoy the season. I think he was actually pretty kick-ass, and I've enjoyed playing with him, but I think he's definitely going to offer that survivability. We saw the Animal Crossing backline in pro play. Jeff the Baby Landshark with Rocket. Kind of everybody can survive on their own. It's a very good lineup, and the BRB beacon, it continues to be absolutely busted, the BRB beacon. You know what I mean? The BRB, the res that he's got, continues to be clutch in so many different maps, modes, you name it. So, strategist-wise, a lot of them are great right now. You can make a case for most of them, but these are my favorite winners at the moment. So there you guys go. Vanguard, Duelist, Strategist. That's all the mains that I would be playing right now in this season. I always like to play usually the hero under the SS tier because that's like the band tier. So go ahead and look up, you know, maybe if you haven't played any of these or just some of them, or you want to brush up on some old heroes, this is a good list to get you started, and this is what I'm seeing out there, what I expect in the meta. We're going to have tier list, all that good stuff come out here pretty soon, cooking that up. Finally going to take a couple days break to finally get better, and then we'll get those videos out. I think we had like 8 videos in 3 days. Craziness. Subscribe if you haven't below. Good luck out there, all right, on the placements and whatnot, and to the next one. Happy rivalry.